And would you believe it? Iris was caught in yet another lie, trying to act like Bella was crazy. She had no idea what Bella was talking about. And then production showed us once again that Lyris is the big liar of the season. What's up, everybody? Beyond the Villa Season 2 from Love Island has come to an end, and I am here to give my final thoughts on everything. I will say these last two episodes made me feel very good about my opinions throughout the season, that I was right about a lot of them, including that fake-ass lapdog, Jeremiah, which we will get into today. I have a lot to talk about, or that I at least want to talk about, so let's jump right into some of the interesting things that happened in these final two episodes. I will say I am going to be very understandable about Amaya's reaction to Brian trying to hug her from behind and her having her boundaries with an ex here. I think that Amaya was right in this situation to have boundaries, especially if she is in a new relationship. And like I would probably feel the same way if it was an ex that I did not have good terms with. Even if we talk some shit out, I don't think I would want to hug. Now, I guess for me personally, I'm not a big hugger in general. And I know Brian's whole talking point was that it was their shared background that makes them more touchy and huggers. And I get that, but I think Amaya was right. She's a drama queen, though. I will say that. And I don't know if she needed to bring it up at the dinner again, that when she doesn't fuck with someone, it doesn't mean she hates the person. She just doesn't fuck with them. Now, there was different reactions throughout this episode for that hug thing. TJ kind of stuck up for Brian, whereas Iris was making it out to be more dramatic than it actually is. Honestly, this was just another episode where Lyris gets caught in lies, which has been her theme this season. And I love that for her, because she came onto this show wanting to push this agenda that Pepe was such this huge, big, giant liar. And leaving the show, Iris comes off as the biggest liar out of everyone on maybe this entire season, even going back to the real season of Love Island Season 7. In this episode, Iris and Hannah were talking about some of the other women like Bella, who it's exhausting to be friends with them, but they were next door to the room that Bella was in with Grayson and Coco, so they overheard Iris and Hannah talking. Bella especially overheard Hannah and Iris talking about her specifically, and Bella was starting to think like their whole friendship with Iris and Hannah has always been one-sided. Grayson talking about how it's like a schoolyard and she and Coco and Bella are on the outside of the cool kids, which is what I've been saying all along. The clout clique in this season has been so evident. They talked about how it feels like middle school and the popular girls are kind of being mean girls. And it's funny to me because during this season, I still get comments from time to time about the mean girls on that season and how there was bullying, and I still don't think there was on the real season of Love Island Season 7. But this is what real bullying looks like. When you have a group of people that lie, that are being fake, that are doing it for clout, that's how the mean girl environment can actually be established. On Season 7, people were acting like there was bullying, when the truth is, the truth hurt for a lot of people during that season. People couldn't be truthful without people getting in their feelings. On this season, we are seeing lies being called out everywhere, and it's not by Pepe, it's by Iris. Anyway, Bella had to sit down with Iris, and they talked about the situation. Bella apologized for, talking with Pepe, but Bella said she was just willing to hear his side of the story because there are usually two sides. Iris was appalled at the two sides statement when it's just a fact that there is always two sides to every story. She was hurt by that, acting like there was no loyalty from Bella, that there was no girlhood. And Bella said that she does what she always does, and that's be kind. I really do think Bella is always being herself on both seasons that she was in. You know, she came into Love Island not wanting to just go around kissing everyone. She did give in by the end, but it's not like she didn't go totally against her beliefs. She just started kissing in the games because that's what Love Island is, and you shouldn't go on Love Island if you're not going to participate in the first place. But she has always been someone who at least attempts to be herself, and I will always appreciate that on reality television, but honestly just in general. I just want people to be themselves, because if you can't be yourself, that's what makes you sketchy. And it shouldn't be surprising to anyone that someone with a fake face like Iris is just so fake all the way around. Bella also told Iris that she feels like she's always the one reaching out to all the girls, or most of the girls on the outside. She has to text them first. She's the one trying to be their friend. And Bella called out Iris and Hannah for what she heard them saying about her when they were trying to talk shit in private, but they were in the very next room to where the other girls were. And would you believe it? Iris was caught in yet another lie, trying to act like Bella was crazy. She had no idea what Bella was talking about. And then production showed us once again that Lyris is the big liar of the season, showing the footage of Iris and Hannah talking shit about Bella and some of the other girls. So to wrap up the opinions on Iris, y'all's name Lyris for her is very, very accurate. Let's touch upon Jeremiah and Andrina first before we get into the big game night argument. Andrina feels like Jeremiah is playing with her because he likes to flirt, he likes to engage, and then he gives mixed signals when they're kind of out in public. And I'll say one thing to somewhat defend Jeremiah before I drag him for the rest of this video. Andrina goes on shows and she loves to act dumb and helpless. We just saw that on Love Island Games with Johnny, and I feel like we were seeing it again here on this season. With that being said, though, Jeremiah was definitely giving mixed signals. And I feel like he is very obviously controlling about how he is perceived on the outside. And that's why he's been reacting so passionately on social media to people not liking him this season, because we can see that he's a fake fraud. Jeremiah is a fraud, and he was giving mixed messages to Andrina. And I do think it was some sort of public perception of him that he was trying to control. We have seen all along, I talked about this in another video, that Iris, Amaya, Hannah, Jeremiah came into this season thinking that they can control the narrative and push their own narratives, but the games and the lies have caught up with them as the season has gone along. During game night, even before game night, there was an incident between Hannah and Grayson when Grayson was saying she wants to start wearing more wigs, and there was a joke that did make me laugh about Hannah Montana, and I think I understood where Hannah was coming from with that joke. But then during the game, when they were trying to portray each other in the game and the other people had to guess who they were being, Hannah had to do an impression of Grayson. She gave the country accent and she said, "I'm going to steal your man," which was an odd thing for Hannah to say, because what was that supposed to mean? Was that a shot at maybe something happening between Grayson and TJ? Does the group think that Grayson was trying to get with TJ? Hannah has said things this season that have made it seem like she was taking shots at Iris, because the whole comment about Pepe and how Iris was so afraid of how she was going to get out of the situation with Pepe made it seem like Iris was plotting on how to look like the good guy when she and Pepe separated from their fake relationship from the show. This shot at Grayson made it seem like maybe something actually did happen between Grayson and TJ, which is another shot at Iris. But anyway, Grayson was hurt by that, and then more hurt when Hannah was asking Grayson if she is okay, because she knows about Iris and Hannah talking shit about how the other girls were exhausting. So it all came out during this big conversation when the Grayson, Bella, Coco sat Iris and Hannah down to talk to them. Coco talking to Hannah about how she isolates herself with only some of the group. Hannah was saying it's not intentional. And then the guys all came down to listen to the argument. And when Iris and Hannah were called out on the conversation that they had, Hannah tried to say it wasn't about the girls, it was about Brian and Chris, and how she doesn't want to be friends with Brian and Chris. So Chris was on the staircase flipping Hannah off after hearing this. And this is where Jeremiah showed his ass that he is nothing but a lapdog for the people he thought would be popular and have the clout this season. They went upstairs, the guys talk, and of course Jeremiah tries to stick up for Iris and Hannah, saying it must be a girl thing because it's like if you didn't want to work out with me and I'm upset, blah blah blah. But Charlie called it out like he has all season, saying there's obviously a divide with the girls and that Hannah and Iris have no intention getting to know some of the other girls. Chris also said that he and Brian had no clue how Hannah actually felt about them. They do all this shit talking behind everyone's back, which is true. But of course, Jeremiah, the lapdog bitch, said that Hannah just doesn't want any new male friends. And then he got into confessional saying that people don't need to be friends with each other, and that's true. But when you have these group dynamics and some people feel a certain way, you can't be like Hannah and be so flippant of the mouth, but then when called out on it, always constantly try and play the victim. And that's what she does. And Jeremiah, he understands. He's acting like he doesn't understand, and he's acting like that because he's in the know. He's close with Iris and Amaya and Hannah. He's been in on these conversations where they have been plotting all of their clout clique nonsense, trying to control the narrative. But he's acting like everyone else's reactions is just too much. He did admit that he doesn't see it from the other guy's side because he is cool with them, aka he's in the clique. And then Charlie told Jeremiah that Hannah just has this energy about her, which she does. He also called it ego, which is true. But Jeremiah is a part of that ego, unfortunately for Charlie. Jeremiah, again, was being a lapdog bitch, telling Charlie, well, Charlie hasn't had energy for Hannah, but Charlie is saying he's been very cordial with Hannah, and Hannah just goes off and isolates herself with Iris, which is 100% what is happening. Amaya then, with the girls downstairs, tried to stick up for Iris and Hannah, saying they don't have a mean bone in their body, which was just such a laughable bullshit thing to say, as if Amaya didn't see Hannah go up to Pepe, talk all this shit, but not a mean bone in her body. Amaya, just a fool this season, just a stupid fool. Iris again brought up the girl code bullshit with Bella, and Amaya then said that Bella is too close to their exes and the girls nonsense. All this is between Iris and Hannah and Amaya is performative. And they're doing it because it was popular 2 seasons ago to have girl code and to be girls, as if any of these girls have been girls on season 7 of Love Island or this season. It's a joke. It is definitely performative because they thought this is how they were going to come out of this season even more popular, but it blew up in their faces. Bella had this confessional, though, about how she turned down $20,000 to do something with Brian for Amaya's sake, which was very dumb of Bella. And it does tell me that even though I like Bella this season, and even though I do think that compared to most other people on this show, she tries to be herself, she definitely tried to get in good with some of the popular people, if that is what she was doing. Then when Hannah's in the hot seat during this argument, what does she do? Well, she gets up and walks away, because that is what she does when she's called out on her shit every damn time. And then what does Jeremiah do? Well, he does the lapdog bitch thing and goes and checks on Hannah immediately. And then later, Jeremiah was taking a page from Hannah's book himself. It's like he's been spending way too much time with the fake people because he too is a fake fraud. When Andrina was trying to communicate to him about how she felt about his mixed messages, Jeremiah got upset and walked away from the conversation. Jeremiah is a fake fraud, and I'm glad that my feelings throughout this season were accurate coming out in these last two episodes. Just a few more notes, though, I do want to talk about Iris and TJ having their first I love yous on camera. This is what an actual fake relationship looks like. Playing it up for the cameras. Then Nick makes a cameo for a few minutes in a conversation with TJ. And I know the people don't want to hear it who are the biggest Nick and Olandria haters, but I guarantee that Nick was paid more for this 5-minute cameo than half the cast combined that's been in every single episode. Because Nick and Olandria were the stars of the season. I hate to break it to people. And it's true. The truth is in the numbers on social media. The preview of Nick that they posted for the Love Island Beyond the Villa preview had more likes than any other post from this show all season. It was like 8 times more than any other post I've seen on social media for this season. So yeah, I do know that Nick probably got paid handsomely to make this little cameo where he talked about Olandria, the watch she got for him, talked about how the fans are crazy because they saw the small box for Christmas and they attack him for any reason. And Nick calling that out only has the fans trying to attack him again for that gift, which was his whole point. His whole point was that he only lets people see 10%. People are attacking him for that gift when they don't even actually know what gift he got Olandria. They just saw the box. Still have never seen the gift. And Nick talking about how he and Olandria only show 10% of their lives. Meanwhile, TJ talking about how he and Iris post every single day. That is how you can tell who's actually a real couple and who isn't. Because if you are online all the time trying to push your couple content, please, that is how the Love Island scam goes down. That is what a real scam looks like. You know, all those people on Facebook over the years who used to have a Facebook account together as a couple because, you know, they're just such a happy couple. They got to put it out there that they're a couple on social media. This is Jack and June. We are a couple on social media together. Those couples never make it. They never make it on Facebook. Over the years, all of the years that I have had people on Facebook, which I don't really frequent anymore, but all those people on Facebook that used to make a Facebook account as a couple, it's because there was a lot of things wrong with that relationship. And that's how I'm definitely side-eyeing TJ and Iris after this season. Not just because Iris is a big liar, but because they just once again tried to put all of their relationship on this show to make it seem like they're just that great of a couple. It's fake. It's fraudulent, just like Jeremiah. And last thing on Jeremiah, before I end this video, his big thing, even trying to get support on social media last week, was that he didn't want to shake Pepe's hand. He's not getting along with Pepe because Pepe is a huge liar. This entire season has showed us who the actual huge liar is, and that's Iris. So is Jeremiah going to drop Iris as a friend then if he hates liars? I don't know. If it gets him in good graces on social media, he just might do that. Also, someone posted a picture of Iris after Love Island games. She was not on the season, but she was hella close to Mert from that season.
Iris talked about Taylor being at the club. Mind you, I don't like Taylor. I don't care for him at all, or Clark. But I think it's funny how she was talking about the club. This is the club that, I don't want to see my manager get the club. But this was you in October, honey. You was outside with the Love Island Games cast. I remember that.
You know, she's always talking about all the guys in the clubs and how that's bad. She was in the clubs too, hella close to someone who wasn't TJ when her and TJ were supposed to be together. Just what a bunch of frauds. Luckily, we're moving on to season 8 of Love Island USA soon.